If you've been following along in my videos, you'll know that over the past few months, I've been working on building a lot of different items for our local Summerfest. It's just a way to get my name and my face out there and act as a living business card to hopefully bring in some new clients in the local community. To put my prices on everything instead of individually labeling everything, I made a chalkboard. And this is it here. This is what we're going to be working on today. You can see some of the prices that I charge for some of the items that we have built here on this channel. If you haven't been following along, now would be the perfect time to hit that subscribe button. So without further ado, let's get started. To get started, I'm going to use a piece of 1/4 inch MDF. This is actually a piece of wall that I had for my mudroom, but the backside's nice and smooth and it's going to work perfect. I like MDF because it's stable and it is smooth. I'm going to use some 220 grit sandpaper to rough up the surface a little bit. This will give the primer something to stick to. I'm going to use my air compressor to blow off any of the dust, but if you don't have one, just a regular rag will do just fine. I'm using a really good primer. I don't skimp on primers anymore. I've found that if you don't have a good base, then your finish is just going to be pretty terrible. So I'm using a good oil-based primer here. Because it's a good primer, it's harder to clean up, so I've avoided using a paint tray just so I don't have to spend time trying to use mineral spirits to clean that out. You can get paint tray liners, but this is just one quick little paint job, so I decided to just dab it on and spread it out, and it came out perfect. Here's a tip I learned from a pro painter. Instead of throwing the roller away or trying to wash it out in between coats, take some cling wrap and just wrap it up. It'll keep it from drying out. And I'll do this in between all the coats. I'll use the same roller for every single one. And you just roll it up like a little burrito. And that's it. I'll set that aside, and while that coat dries, I'll move on to the next. As you know, I really like upcycling. So my sister had this old cabinet. I'd actually made repairs to this decades ago. It's finally worn out. She was looking to get rid of it, asked if I wanted it for the materials, and I said absolutely. So we're going to use some of the trim boards on that to make the frame for this chalkboard. I've 45'd all of the corners, and they're going to fit just like so. Then I'm going to come over to my table saw and I'm going to set the height of the blade to the thickness of the MDF. I'm going to make a rabbet on the inside edge of the frame so that the MDF will have a lip to sit on when I put the frame together. Because I'm working with used materials, there's the extra step of having to get that finish off. So I'm starting with 60 grit sandpaper to get most of it. Then I'll move up to 120 grit sandpaper to smooth that out. I'm coming over to my router table and I'm using an Ogee bit just to give a decorative finish to the inside edge. I had to use a lot of different clamps in order to glue this up. I didn't use any nails. And oh crap, I glued it to the table. Little banging, little tapping, and whew. Okay. Then I came back and I took 220 grit sandpaper and I sanded everything, which ended up being a waste of time that I'll explain in a minute. The first coat on our MDF had dried, so now I'm going to apply a second coat. Going to use that same roller that we wrapped up like a bean burrito a few minutes ago, and it works just as well as it did fresh out of the box. Originally, I was going to go with this fancy, smooth finish, but I decided I actually wanted a more rustic look to this. In order to get this rustic look, we're going to beat the living heck out of that nice finish that we've been putting on our board. I'm going to start with this. It's just a board with nails jammed through it. This creates kind of a wormwood look. And this is a mending plate screwed to a 2x4. It's actually a snow carving tool. For about 13 years, my wife and I have been competing in the Jackson, New Hampshire snow carving competition. These are just a couple examples. So I'll take my wormwood hammer, I guess you could call it, and you can hit it as many times as you want. Now I'm taking that snow carving tool, the roof truss support, or the mending plate they call it, and I'm literally just scratching and sanding any surface that's going to be visible. I make sure I hit all the outside edges as well. Then I'm going to take some sandpaper just to make sure nobody gets a splinter, and I'm going to take down those high spots. I'm still leaving all the scratches, but this gives it an aged look. Now we're going to beat it up a little bit more with some fire. Yeah, fire! I always want to keep the torch moving because I don't want to burn this to a crisp or set it on fire. I'm really just darkening the wood and highlighting some of the grain and some of the scratches that we just put in it with those two different tools. It's at this point I realized I'm still wearing my painting gloves, which mixed with fire will melt into my hand and need to be surgically removed. So make sure you're not wearing anything synthetic. Now I'm going to come back through and beat it up again with a wire brush. This is going to take any of the loose burn off of it and just make it so it'll be nice and finishable. I am using a honey stain on this, a nice dark stain to really get into all those recesses that we made. And there it is. From there, we need to start making this blue. You can make it whatever color you want. I had this chalkboard paint. It's actually TARDIS blue because we were Doctor Who fans. Actually, we are Doctor Who fans. So the first coat goes on pretty rough. You're still going to be able to see a lot of white through it. I make sure everything's going in the same direction, and then I'm just going to let that sit for the recommended amount of time. I think this was 4 hours. I'm going to do the same trick with this, and I wrap the roller into a bit of cling wrap. Once that's dry, I come back with 220 grit sandpaper, and I just want to take all those high spots off. I'm not sanding it down to bare white. I'm just scratching it up, making it smooth, and then I wipe that off with a cloth. And I'm going to come back through and I give it a second coat. All in all, I think I did 3 or 4 coats on this the exact same way, just making sure all the lines go in the same direction. And again, this will be the third coat. Just a quick sand, takes all the high spots off. You can see I'm leaving some pretty big white pock marks there. This was old paint and it has kind of some clumps in it. So not the greatest. I really had to work hard to try to keep those clumps from getting onto this because I did want a very smooth surface. Yeah, looks like a Starry Night sort of painting. And with this coat, I did one more coat that I don't think I bothered showing. You can see some coasters that I made right beside it. These all got sold at the Summerfest that I prepped this board for. I really like the color though. So I nailed a few finished nails into the back, just at an angle, and then I bent them down. This is just to hold the board in place. I come back through later on and I actually hot glue it as well. And that hot glue is going to hold it really well. I used that on a mirror that I built probably a few months ago if you haven't seen that. If you haven't seen that video, I'm actually going to link that here because a lot of what we did in that coincides with the building of this frame. So a little hot glue, and that'll hold it nice and tight. I decided I didn't like the look of the back, so I taped it off and just spray painted it black. I took some more of that cabinet and I ran it through the table saw to get the finish off. This is going to be the leg that folds out in the back to keep the sign standing up. I don't have a specific measurement here, I just made it so that it was just slightly wider than the hinge that I'm using at the top. To keep the leg from sliding out when it's standing up, I'm taking an old strap and I stapled it to the bottom of our leg, and then I'm going to staple it to the back of the frame. And once it's standing up, it won't slide out on me. Keeps it at the right angle. As I'd mentioned, I put a little place for my business cards at the bottom that I didn't show here. This way people could check my prices and while they were there, grab a business card. It worked out awesome. A lot of people did grab cards and it looked really sharp sitting on the table amongst all the things that I built. Make sure you leave a comment and let me know how your chalkboard came out and what color you ended up painting yours. Did you go traditional black or did you find a whole other different color? After you leave a comment, make sure you check out my other videos as well. I've built a lot of different things, but most of all, make sure you hit subscribe. Until next time, bye.